Today we're in Rouen, France's best kept secret for antique lovers. It is the third largest hub for antique dealers in the country, and the decoration here is next level. We're talking 19th century paintings, rare leather books, and those shimmering chandeliers. As you may have seen, our last sourcing in Rouen was so good that we just had to come back. There are at least 6 spots I want to hit today, so let's get going. We're starting our morning at ABN Antiquités. It has that classic curated feel that immediately sets the tone for a day of high-end sourcing. I'm obsessed with this 18th century trumeau. Historically, these were placed between windows to throw light back into the room, but they look just as stunning styled above a fireplace mantle. I'm obsessed with the monochrome gallant scene in the upper panel. It is so soft and romantic. At 2,200 euros, the contrast of the gilded moldings against that aged painted wood is just unreal. I could not believe my eyes when I saw this ethereal 18th century Ancien Régime style painting. You can see the delicacy in those soft macaroon pastels and the powdered hair. I find the single strand of pearls so beautiful. It gives her that quiet old Paris soul that instantly transforms a gallery wall. One can never go wrong with a classic French mirror. It is likely from the mid to late 1800s, featuring those typical C-scroll curve and the ornate shell motif at the top. The gold has this warm, authentic patina that gives it such a storied fairy tale glow. I found this early 19th century oil painting for 1,200 euros, which is like a tiny window into the past. It is an intimate interior scene of two women surrounded by music and art, and it is so refined and old Paris vibe. I'm completely in love with this heavy carved and gilded frame. It gives the whole piece such a majestic fairy tale feel. This piece is such a fun and playful find for 850 euros. It is a 1950s Montgolfier chandelier. The tricolor blue, white and red paint is still so vibrant, and the hot air balloon shape was a huge symbol of freedom in the late 1700s. I really love how this 20th century version brings that history to life. It would look so cute in a children's room. This signed oil is dated from 1887 and it is a stunning example of French naturalism. Henri Alizon was a master at capturing the serenity of rural life. The warm golden embers and the way that the light just hits the flock makes it feel like a sun-drenched memory. At 950 euros, it is a true investment piece with so much history. Next up, we're heading to Galerie Bertrand, and honestly, this is where the heart of Rouen's artistic history lives. It was founded back in 1989 by Frank Bertrand, and it's become the absolute authority on the school of Rouen. This isn't just a shop, it is basically a gallery that works with museums to preserve the legacy of 19th and 20th century masters. So let's step inside. Totally love this classic impressionist oil painting, likely from the early 20th century. The brushwork is so loose and playful. I love the contrast of that cool teal blue picture against the warm sun-ripened apples. The choices the artist made a simple kitchen scene feel like a romantic poem. Another still life I could not keep my eyes off was this one. This is a post-impressionist piece from the mid-20th century, and I love the vibrant colors used for the flowers in combination with the heavy dark picture. Right next door is Librairie Bertrand. It is run by the same family as the gallery, and honestly, if you love the smell of old paper and gold-leafed spines, prepare to lose your heart. The rarest pieces are showcased behind glass, which tells you everything about their value, but don't let that intimidate you, because there is actually a section here with books between 5 and 30 euros, more or less, and I spent over an hour tucked away in these shelves looking through literally every single one. It is the perfect place to find a little piece of history without the gallery price tag. I found this 1931 edition of Le Vicomte de Bragelonne from Alexandre Dumas. It is volume 1 of a series of 3, and I'm just obsessed with the cover art. These mid-century French paperbacks were designed to be as beautiful as they were readable. Surprisingly, they also had a selection of vintage and antique prints and paintings. I really liked this one in particular. And they also had this gorgeous faience platter. Now we're heading slightly further out from the Old Town Center, but trust me, Canabroc Gana Deco is worth every extra step. It is a bit more of a true brocante feel. If you're looking for Tureen's, this is the place. He has an incredible wall filled with antique and vintage Tureens, or also called soupières. From those creamy Rococo revival curves to the most delicate blue transferware, he had it all. My favorite though was this 19th century ironstone Tureen with lion's head handles, which give it such a regal but understated soul. I love that it's kept its pristine white glaze. If you're looking for that one forever piece for a French kitchen, this is it. Seeing this many in one place was simply unreal. He also had so much delicate glassware, and the prices here are incredibly fair. Here is a pro tip: if you pay in cash, he's almost certain to offer a little friendly discount. Finding shops with treasures like these is a challenge sometimes, but I've made it a little bit easier for you as I've been to over 400 of my favorite antique locations, including the ones we visited and are visiting today, onto a custom Google map so you can head straight to the magic. If you're looking for a more curated, designer chic vibe, label La Brocante en ligne is an absolute must. It is definitely on the pricier side, but every piece is a statement. I'm obsessed with how they mix mid-century glamour with those soft antique accents. I'm always on the hunt for monogrammed silver plates. This one specifically is a late 19th century French piece, and that hand-engraved crest at the top just tells such a story. The ribbon and reed border is so delicate and refined, and at 80 euros it is just a true quiet luxury piece. These are verre églomisé, a late 19th century French technique where silver is blown between glass layers. It creates this hand-etched frosty shimmer that looks like jewelry for your table. These are one of the most unique candlesticks I've seen in a while, at only 80 euros per piece. Our final stop is Jacot et Javot. I'll be honest, I expected a tiny boutique, but this space is massive. It just keeps going. It's like a never-ending maze of treasures. It has such a unique and eclectic soul. They mostly specialize in mixing Victorian English antiques with really cool industrial metal furniture. It is sophisticated but high energy, and the ultimate spot if you're looking for those rare storied objects that give a room its own personality. It is less my style, but it is always fun to find shops I'm not so used to. I would describe this store as having a quite strong Art Deco influence. Think 1920s glamour meets French provincial charm. How unreal are these stone statues? They have that perfect weathered patina from sitting in a French garden for decades. I find the detail in their faces so charming. It is definitely that perfectly imperfect look that gives a patio or an entryway so much character. Look at the intricate floral repoussé on this silver-plated English sugar bowl. It is where the metal is hammered from the back to create that 3D texture. It is likely Second Empire, mid-1800s, and it has that substantial, gilded weight that instantly elevates a breakfast nook. I honestly thought this piece was a museum relic. It is a massive industrial-style dark wood cabinet. I love the contrast of the rugged wood against the delicate glass. This gorgeous chandelier with these massive, heavy crystal droplets was impossible to ignore. What I love about it is the frame. It is not too shiny, so it really has that authentic aged soul. It is really a piece that instantly turns a simple room into a French chateau dream. Every time I think I've seen all of Rouen, a new door opens. This city just keeps giving. If you're planning your own trip and you want to skip the tourist spots and go straight to these hidden gems, don't forget that I've pinned over 400 of my favorite locations, including these of today, onto my custom Google map. It is basically my secret black book, and you can grab it via the link below or via the QR code on the screen for only $37 while it is on sale. Let me know in the comments which shop was your vibe today. Don't forget to subscribe so you can join me for our next antique stop. Until then, happy hunting!